ついつい、近くにあるクエストやろかなって感じで、ひとまとめに一気に攻略するようにプレイできとらんから、動画見てる人に申し訳ないな。今は、ステファニー夫人に依頼されていた、いとこの結婚式の品を集めていたよ。お店で、ワインを買いに来たら、弓術大会の景品にしちゃったって言うんやな。そんで、大会に参加して優勝して景品いただいちゃおうってわけ。実は、一回参加したんやけど負けて、優勝した人に話しかけても、特に何もないから、スリで盗むんかなと思ってスリに失敗して、ラッテイ中の兵士に追われて、大逃亡して、最後まで追ってきたのが隊長で、これは、負けても倒してもあかん。と思ってやり直したで。弓術大会レベル高いよね。めっちゃむずいな的に当てるの。今回、優勝はルーシュローって人だね。前回の失敗時は、二人とも固有名のない人だったけど。一般人にも負けちゃったよ。優勝者に交渉してみよう。
I'm glad to see you.
ワインの項目あった。
Congratulations on your victory.
Thank you. I can't wait to drink to it.
Yes, on the subject of drinking, I'm guessing you prefer beer to wine?
No, not really. I could drink beer in any tavern, but there's no wine as good as this one.
It's just that the wine you won, I need it.
Not a chance. I won it fairly.
そりゃそうやな。だがしかし。
You don't want to disappoint Lady Stephanie of Talmberg and her courier, do you?
Lady Stephanie, you say? I've always liked her ladyship. You know what then? Take the keg. And please give her my respectful greetings.
おう。ありがとうやで。とりあえず重量もなく鎖もせんみたいやから、持っておく。カットしてしまったクエストで立ち寄ったりもしてしまったけど、ワインの次は、さあサバって、ところで冠を受け取らなくちゃならんな。
We've known each other our whole lives, near enough.
マシューとフリッツ。おう、
Is it even him?
テレサから聞いてはいたけど、ちゃんと生き延びてた。
He really is ignoring us.
一緒に、人の家の壁へクソを投げた思い出しかないが。
Henry!
I'm glad to see you.
Matthew! Fritz! You're alive!
Of course we're alive.
You can't get rid of us that easily.
I'm almost surprised how happy I am to see the pair of you are all right.
We are now, but we barely made it.
Yeah, it was hard. Fritz ran like a little girl.
Really?
Bollocks! Bloody joker.
Tell us what happened to you.
They gave me a pretty good thrashing as well. It was only in Rattay that I got back in my right mind.
You're not doing too well either, are you?
Right now, I'm a squire for Sir Radzig.
I see you've worked your way up.
And how are you two getting by?
It's shit.
You said it. We're still chopped off to bits. Owe the monastery a bundle. And there's no work here.
Not for anyone with more than half a brain, anyway.
彼らのこと、うちらはよくわかってへんけど、一応大工仕事してたみたいやね。
Well, you two and work never got along. But don't tell me that they're not in need of carpenters. They're reconstructing the monastery.
They don't want us there.
And there's nothing else around here.
Hey, you wouldn't happen to know of anything?
It will really help us out right now.
I'll find you something. You can rely on me.
Thanks, Henry.
We'll pay off the debt. Don't you worry.
嬉しいな。結構生き残ってくれているやん。
What other neighbors of ours made it?
Your hunker's in the monastery. That girl really helped us out. That's about all we know. When we ran for it, we helped Teresa. But who knows where she is now? We got separated.
I owe my life to Teresa. She hauled me unconscious to the mill in Rattay and nursed me back to health.
I'm glad she survived. Since you know her so well, why not try asking her if she knows about any work?
And where would they hire you to?
Well, we were carpenters in the mines, so wherever they work with wood, I suppose. Forget about construction. After Scarlet's, no one will be building for a long time. Just here in Sasau, and they don't want us here. The best chance we have is to work at a mill. People always have to eat. Ideally, we're looking for a job that pays a lot and doesn't require much work. Good luck then.
ベジックさんとこは、やめといた方がいいかも。ああ、楽なことをさせられんよな。盗んでこいとか。
Hey, how'd you get so fucked up?
The monastery wants you to pay for treatment. That doesn't sound right.
Leave it be, Howell.
I won't. What happened?
We might have pummeled his face. But don't get involved, Henry. We'll settle it on our own.
Wait, who exactly did you pummel?
Well, he kept on bothering us and... in a nutshell, it was his fault and we're not gonna talk about it anymore.
But couldn't there be a way to settle it? Maybe he'd let you off the...
There isn't.
Oh, don't be a twat, Fritz. The two of you are up to your necks in shit, and you're gonna play tough instead of seeing sense.
Go to hell, Henry. You and Elias. You're one as bad as the other.
You're good for nothing, you wretch.
なんか、ほっとけないっていう気持ちなんやけど、どんどん悪い方に話が進んでいってしまう。
I'll be with you.
戦いになってしまった。そっとしておいてあげるべきだったんだろうか。
Who there? Did that hurt?
やっちまった。どう収拾をつけるんだ。マシュー、ごめん。なんか殴り倒してしもた。話すことすらできん。死んでないやんな。ああ、なんか、ごめん。フリッツが消えた。昨日倒れてた場所にいないね。あら、まさか死んでしまったんじゃないよな。
Jesus, what have you been up to?
マシューにも呆れられてしもた。どないしよ。
Just for a while, he says. To help your neighbors, he says. It's been
あ、
weeks.
この人がヨハンカさんや。うちら、最序盤で、あまり村の中歩き回らんかったから、この人が、誰とか全く知らんな。一応、ヨハンカさんも、スカーリッツの人だね。
One of them dragged himself in here with broken ribs, and now he's going to die from pneumonia and starvation.
Look, we're doing the best we can, and this kind of attitude isn't helping. I bid you good day.
Johanka?
Henry?
I'm glad to see you.
Me too. I heard that you're doing well.
Well, that depends.
You're alive. So you're doing well.
What's happening here? Oh my god. Philip and... they're all...
Yes. Where do you think the wounded ended up?
Actually, I had no idea.
Well, now you know. Me and Nicodemus have been trying to keep things under control since Skalitz was raised. Just the two of us.
You wouldn't happen to know what Fritz and Matthew did here, would you?
Don't even talk to me about that. They weren't badly injured compared to most of the others here, and after lying in bed for a while, they got bored. So they started drinking. I'm trying to help people in dire need, and the two of them are drinking! With that cretin Elias.
They always have been thoughtless, but at least they were punished for it. Who is this Elias, anyway?
One of the ordinal monks who helps out here. He was the one who brought the booze. All three of them got friendly pretty fast. You know what they say about birds of a feather.
What kind of person is this Elias?
A timid kind of fellow.
And why is he being so hard on Fritz and Matthew? They're drowning in debt because of him, and it seems all they had was a small fight.
I don't know. He was the one who wanted to befriend them in the first place. I don't believe it's because of any property damage they did. It's got more to do with wounded pride.
And do you know what got between them?
I don't have a clue. One minute they're the best friends in the world, and then a lot of yelling and furniture flying around. They threw Fritz and Matthew out straight afterwards.
Thank you. That's all I need. So can I help at all?
Certainly. We can always use an extra pair of hands here. And it's been like that since the beginning.
I was in a bad way myself back then. They took me to Rat-Eye unconscious, and I needed a healer. How is everyone holding up? What can I do?
Holding up? People here are dying, usually needlessly, and I can't do anything about it. We don't have enough food or space or anyone who's willing to help us.
あ、しまった。神の手の中でっていうクエストを始めてしまった。何がいけないの？実は、このクエストを始める前には、しっかり準備しておくことが推奨されていて、簡単に説明すると、受注からしばらくすると死者が出てきてしまうらしいんよ。え、人が死んでしまうの？せやな。話しかけた場所が悪かったけど、この建物の中に、病人がたくさんいて、それぞれ原因が異なる命の危機に瀕しているんやな。それで、受注してから4日後くらいから死亡する可能性が出てくる。クエストが始まってしまったら、もう放置ができないんやな。死なせたくなかったら、やけど、当然死なせたくはないしな。受注がタイマー開始ということは、ヨハンカと話すことを今は避けるべきだったのか。うわぁ、ついつい話の流れで開始してもうた。神の手の中でっていうクエストは、要注意って認識しか持ってなかったからな。ヨハンカから始まるクエやったか。しくった。スカーリッツの人を中心に、怪我や病気になって苦しんでる人がいる。でも、修道院は、治療の費用や人員、休む場所の支援をしてくれず、ヨハンカが懸命に看護してくれている状況にあるみたい。
Maybe if I brought some meat, some game, that would strengthen them up.
That would be a great help.
Anything else you need?
Look around.
Well, it is a little crowded.
Crowded? I've had to leave some of the sick lying in the open air, even at night. And have you seen what they're lying on?
I'll try to negotiate better conditions with the monastery.
I tried that, out loud. They just nod their heads, but don't move a muscle.
And how are you doing? You're the only woman here, alone in the monastery.
Some of the monks speak to me, but other people act like I don't exist. Too bad the custodian isn't one of those.
Is the custodian causing you problems?
All the time. Apparently he has a wife somewhere, but that doesn't stop him. He's constantly strutting around in front of me.
And, what else?
What do you mean, what else? He's invited me to his home.
管理官とやらが、ヨハンカに関係を迫っているってことらしいな。奥さんがおるのに。
The last thing I need is you going around threatening people. It won't help me, and it definitely won't help the refugees.
Why is there a guard outside?
He's here because of me.
Because of you?
Yes. There was one time I just had enough of it all, of the way they treat us, and I almost slapped one of... But that doesn't matter.
What can you tell me about the custodian?
He's supposed to be in charge of all the guards and the security of the monastery. But really, he has a say in pretty much everything, including supplies. And that's why he probably thinks he can do whatever he wants.
All right, that's all I need to know.
Look, Henry, I know I can speak harshly, but I'm at the end of my tether. Last week Bohuslav died. Maybe you knew him. And nobody even blinked an eye. We desperately need help.
I'll do whatever's in my power.
やるしかないな。全く準備できてない。思ってたよりひどい状態だ。
And who are you?
Brother Elias.
ああ、この人が、マシューとフリッツが喧嘩した相手やな。
What do you do here?
What I can. I'm just trying to help the Skalitz locals as much as I can.
How long have you been helping here?
Since before the refugees arrived. It was much less crowded back then.
And what do you do here exactly?
Mainly, I help Brother Nicodemus. Occasionally, I keep watch at night in case someone takes a turn for the worse. Sometimes I have to hold the patient down or fetch and carry things.
Do you know anything about healing?
A little. I can manage the basics, but without Brother Nicodemus, I'd never be able to deal with the more difficult cases.
I can't. I just
Thank you.
can't.
I heard you had a fight with Fritz and Matthew.
Heathens.
So it was you they fought with?
Yes, it was me. And I hope I'll never have to see those wastrels again.
They deserve to be ousted, but the debt? How are they ever going to pay it?
I really don't care. Let them live in penury. Brutes.
Isn't that a little unchristian? You wouldn't want personal spite to ruin their lives, would you?
Please.
Well,
help me.
those were just idle threats, really. If they come and apologize, there's always a possibility of forgiveness.
マシュー・フリッツの借金問題はこれで解決やな。問題は急いで治療が必要な患
He
者
just
さんた
needs to
ち。
sleep.
問題ない人もいてる
His
か。
wounds have been well taken care of. I'm not needed here.
Get any sleep. I just won't get any sleep.
Shit. What's going on?
You look all right?
Mostly, but my leg still hurts.
Did the Cummins wound you?
That's what I tell the ladies. Truth is, I did myself a mischief while I was running away.
And do they rebandage it for you?
Occasionally. They told me they don't have enough bandages.
Well, that's no use. Those bandages need changing. I'll get some.
Good luck to
ハ
you.
ンス。カポン教と同じ名前のこの人は包帯が必要や。トランクにも予備を置いてるから問題ない
Why are
ね。
you waking me?
You're not from Skalitz?
No, but please help me. I can't stay here.
What happened to you?
I was working on the building when the scaffolding up by the roof collapsed underneath me.
Well, and you're very lucky you survived at all.
Yes, that's what everyone tells me. But it's no use being alive if all I can do is lie here like a wet sack of barley.
Well, you're pretty battered, but I don't see anything that a few weeks' rest can't fix.
Weeks? My God, I have to get back to work sooner than that.
What's the problem? Why can't you stay until you heal?
I have a family. I'm poor. It's only thanks to the building work that we can survive. And the master told me if I don't come back in a few days, then I shouldn't come back at all. And where can me and my wife go then? Who'll take us in? We'll end up living in the woods, where any bandit or ruffian can set on us.
Is there anything I can do to help? It looks like they took care of your wounds.
When I was little, my father got trampled on by a horse, and an old hag from the village gave him some kind of purple herbs for it. And he got better very quickly.
And do you remember what the herbs were?
I don't. But there's supposed to be the whole cursed knowledge of the world in this place. Something has to be written about it. A herbarium. Anything.
I'll try to find something.
Thank you. Thank you.
セミクさんには紫のハーブ。
Christ above! I can't get a wink of sleep.
What are you making such a fuss about?
A fuss? Because of my leg, I have to stay here for at least another week. Hurts like fuck. And with everyone else moaning and groaning all night, I can't get any sleep.
Maybe I can make you something to help you sleep.
Oh, then for God's sake, do it quickly. Farewell.
不眠症を治すものを見つける。
I'm not needed here. Philip, from Skalitz. I don't see any wounds, but he's shaking terribly. He's not reacting. But all I can see that's wrong with him is his leg. I have to ask Johanka.
他の人は、とりあえず問題ないようや。
You're the one who's in charge of the wounded.
Yes, I'm the infirmarius here. Time was I only had a few elderly monks who couldn't walk to take care of. Now I have this mess to deal with.
Monks so old they can't hold themselves up with their own legs.
Oh, if that were the only bodily function they could control. But I shouldn't talk like that. It's a blessing to live to such an age.
How are the wounded from Skalitz?
Some of them are well taken care of. But others are dying here needlessly. It's a good thing we have Johanka here. I'd never be able to manage on my own.
So you don't normally treat the wounded then?
Well, there were accidents, of course. A broken leg, someone who'd been kicked by a cow or bitten by a goat. But this, I've never dealt with the carnage of battle before.
If only it had been a battle. This was cold-blooded
ス
slaughter.
カーリッツ襲撃の件で、ラッペイにいてた難民と同じように、この場所でもスカーリッツ難民が逃げてきてる。
What do you think about the custodian?
Baron von Berg? Well, he does his job well. He keeps us safe here. And the last time I saw him was when I was rubbing ointment on his rash.
I heard he's been here a lot lately.
Well, that's true. He comes to visit Johanka. But he's never here long, and he always leaves unsatisfied.
How can I help you?
Have you talked to Johanka?
I did.
Well, if you know something about it, then go and take a look. However, you don't look like you've studied the Hippocratic arts.
That's true.
一応スキルの治療さんは取得しているで、その時点で目の前の修道士さんやヨハンカよりも治療技術が優れていると言えるみたい。
Thank you. Why are they so badly provided for? People are crammed in next to each other, and some have to sleep outside. That can't be good for them. It gets freezing here at night.
I can't afford anything more for them.
How is that possible? You're the infirmarius. You decide how all the money gets spent.
But I have no say in how much money I'm given. And because the abbot's away, it's still the same amount I had when I was taking care of a few old men.
And the local custodian? His crew has enough provisions.
I tried him, but it seems he had some disagreement with Johanka, and now he won't give us anything.
I'll try to talk to him. I can't believe your conscience lets you leave the Skalitz locals in such a state.
I know. I'm ashamed. But my brothers believe it's all in God's hands now.
Can't you do anything? Won't the others help?
Unfortunately not. The brothers in the cloister aren't much interested in the external world, and the custodian has enough on his plate with the chaos in the region. Besides, his main concern is the smooth running of the monastery.
Even so, conditions here seem to me quite un-Christian.
You're not the only one.
What happened to Philip?
Philip?
He's unconscious. He's shivering and he has a fever.
Ah, I didn't know that. When he first came here, he was fine. No wounds on him. He was escorting the others. Then he got worse and worse until he lost consciousness entirely. Ask Johanka. Maybe she'll know more.
I'd like to learn something from you.
And what can you do?
A bit of everything.
Can you now? But to be more precise, do you understand herbs and medicinal plants?
めっちゃ知っとるで。
Of course.
知らんけど、
At the back of my hand.
そうでも言わないと任せてくれなさそうだったもんね。ただ、これはサブのクエストやな。緊急じゃないらしかった。本来育成しているハーブ以外の植物を抜いて回る内容で、後でやってもええらしい。
I can get cracking.
Not so fast. Have I even told you what I consider a
タン
weed?
ポポ、 イラクサ、
It's
アザミを
dandelions,
見つけたら抜いたらいいの
stinging
ね。
nettles, and thistles. Those plants have their use, but they've no business growing among the euphrasia and the mentha, or anywhere else in that garden for that matter.
Where is it they're not supposed to grow?
Between the mint and the eyebright. Once you've cleared the garden of weeds, come back. And woe betide you if you pull up anything but weeds.
Don't worry, you've never had as good a gardener. How do I know which are the weeds?
You see, this is the part where you learn something. Look in the herbarium to find out what a dandelion, stinging nettle, and thistle look like.
Do you know anything about herbs?
I'm not an expert, but I know a little something. Is it urgent?
Well, one of the workers who was injured during construction would like to get back to work. He mentioned some purple flowers that would...
Herbs.
Oh, purple herbs that should help.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but you can have a look in the herbarium here. There won't be too many purple herbs for bruises and sprains.
How about some potion to induce heavy sleep?
Certainly. The old reliable.
Reliable?
Some of the brothers like a good sleep, and sometimes that's the only way to get one. I'll show you how.
Thanks.
でだ、本来は、この時点で、文字が読めるようにしとらなならんかった。でも、うちは、まだ本が読めへん。不眠症に効く薬が、この、子守歌のポーションってことは、わかったんやけど、緊急クエストが始まってしまった以上、仕方ないんで、レシピは、攻略サイトを参照することにしたわ。お？ゲーム内で読み解けなくても、ポーションを作れる？あくまでも、材料と錬金台での操作手順が載っているだけで、制作手順が正しければ、ちゃんと完成するらしい。今回はそれでいく。紫のハーブ。紫、色。コリフ。いや、これは、文字がちぐはぐになっているから、似たような名前のハーブが正解なのだろうね。ニコデモスさんがめっちゃハーブ売っとる。はっ。コンフリー、これやないか？うんうん。間違いなさそう。これを渡したら、一人はオッケーかな。
What the...
Hopefully I have what you need.
Thank you. With any luck, I'll soon be feeling better. If you find the time, stop by to see me in a few days.
Take care now.
さすがにすぐには治ったりせんか。ということは、やっぱり、早く治してやらんと、効果が現れる前に死んでしもたりあるぞ。
Henry, how are you?
What's wrong with that man by the altar? He doesn't look wounded, but he's really pale and doesn't react at all.
He had a broken leg. A bad one. The bone had come right through the skin. We tried to straighten it, but I don't know if we did it right. I'm not holding out much hope for him. I've seen folk in that state before and it didn't end well.
My God, there has to be something we can do.
And what do you suggest? The monks won't help and I don't know anyone else who can.
あ、このマーク。ノイホフのヤコブさんに対しても出てきたんやけど、ヘンリーの治療パークが高いと成功するらしい。
Unfortunately, I've had occasion to try this sort of thing before. You have to place the bones as precisely as you can next to each other. It's hard, but you have to ignore any screams of pain. That's the only way to help him.
Well, fine. Try it then.
What happened to Philip?
Poor man. There was nothing wrong with him, and now he's getting worse every day.
But do you know why?
Maybe. He didn't run away from Skalitz, you see. He hid for days, among the corpses. If he got poisoned.
But what can we do?
Us? Nothing. Only Father Simon might have been able to save him. He knew a lot about poisons.
And where is he?
You know he left Skalitz years ago.
And does anyone know where he ended up?
If you believe the stories
ロ
about
ブ
a
ナというのは
wild man in the
ダルンベルク
woods,
とスカーリッツの間にある
Rothmar was the place to go.
大量の死体が画面に表示されるのを防ぐべくお姉ちゃんの顔でいっぱいになったあの場所だね。スカーリッツと同じように壊滅してしまった村よな。おかしくなってしまっている足の骨を強引にまっすぐにしています。麻酔とかいう便利なものがあったらな。でもこれで良くなるはずやから。
Done.
次はちょっとずるして子守歌のポーション作るわ。初の錬金。ハーブ素材は隣で売っていますので、すぐにでも始められます。アザミ、つくばね草、ひなげし。これをハーブ置く場所に備え付けます。まずは油を大釜に入れましょう。油は左に備え付けられております。次にひなげしを砕かず、そのまま大釜に入れます。ふいごを使って大釜を一度沸騰させましょう。ハーブのいい香りが漂ってきましたね。先生、いいですね。続けてアザミを同様に砕かずに入れ沸騰させましょう。それぞれ導入後に1回ずつ沸騰させています。ここでしばらく放置して大釜が冷めるのを待ちます。火が消えてしばらく待った後、つくばね草を入れます。先生、どのくらいの量がよろしいのでしょうか？適量です。まあ、あえて言うなら一つかみですね。ありがとうございます。最終工程で蒸留もできますが、今回は薬瓶を手に取りましょう。あとは大釜の中身を薬瓶に詰めて完成です。簡単ですね。今度うちでも作ってみよう。人の命かかってるねんで、ジャパンを始めたのはお姉ちゃんです。手伝ってくれてありがとう。
I've got something for you.
Really?
Drink this and you'll fall straight to sleep.
Oh, thank you. Good luck to you.
Dear Mistress Johanka, I come again in admiration of your selfless dedication. I would like to invite you to a fine banquet at my palace. You certainly have earned some... What business have you here, fellow? Who let you in?
I'm taking care of the wounded, as I'm sure you're aware.
Ah. Well then, run along and take care of them, and let me talk to Johanka. You're not needed here.
すまんヨハンカ。ここでヨハンカをかばうと、しばらく投獄されてしまうらしいんや。あとどれくらいで、他の治療が済むかわからんから。邪魔はしません。
I won't intrude, custodian.
That's what I like to hear. Well, Johanka has my invitation, so I look forward to seeing her soon.
本来のうちなら、こんな選択はせんかったやろ。
Henry, how are you?
Tell me more about the situation here. Alright, that's all I need to know. That custodian Sebastian is really obnoxious.
He can be unpleasant, but in his own way. I don't know.
You can't be serious.
What's that supposed to mean? At least he was here, unlike you, the whole time. And anyway, Mind your own business. Good luck then.
この心変わり、うちらの選択によって、管理官となんやかんやあったってことみたいや。あ、フリッツの復活しとる。
Hey, how'd you get so fucked up?
About your brawl with Elias. Your best friend settled the matter.
You're serious?
Absolutely. All you have to do is go to him and promise you'll pay the debt somehow.
We won't forget this. On my honor. And I'm really sorry about that fight. I was just going out of my mind. Take care.
よかったよかった。和解できたようで。さて、治療がまだ続いているんやけど。中途半端だけど、一度ここで区切らせてもらうで。今回から始めてしまったクエストは初見だと、きっと、さんさんたる結末を迎えていただろうね。それもまた、うちらの選択ってことにするはずだったけど、ゲーム進行不能バグを避けるために見つけてしまったクエスト名が引っかかって、このクエストに関してはズルしちゃった。ついでに言うと、ストーリー的には、まだ3分の1くらいの進捗みたいやで。なんなら、メインクエストを進めていないしね。第13話くらいから、ちょっとメインを進めてみようかなと思っとる。次回は、今やってるクエストの続き。それでは今回はここまで。ご視聴ありがとうございました。ほな、またね。